Welcome to About Mansfield. It is your audio newspaper. I'm Steve Casillo, broadcasting from the Cellmark Studios, along with the About Mansfield news team. Colleen, she's out there in Studio West. This is the October 29th, 2025, 295th edition. Coming up, it's Mansfield News, Talk, and Information.
And a little later in the episode, you will have a chance to win a $25 gift card to a Mansfield restaurant of your choice with our Mansfield trivia question, courtesy of Joe Jenkins Insurance.
Let's take a look at the stories we're covering this week. Mansfield breaks ground on new innovation community.
Mansfield ISD board hires firm to assist in superintendent search.
Better infrastructure coming to the Staybolt District. In a moment with the mayor.
Mansfield Fire Department announces promotions and new permanent member.
And in sports, your Mansfield Lady Tigers prepare for volleyball playoffs.
And in the talk segment, Steve concludes his talk with the voice of Newsom Stadium, Stewart. We are Mansfield's only source for news, talk, and information. This is About Mansfield.
Hey there, it's Luke from Cool Hand Electric. Are you tired of dealing with plugs or lights that just won't cooperate? Well, don't fret. Give us a call. Worried about power outages or surges damaging your precious electronics? We've got you covered. Whether it's a whole house generator or surge protection, our solution-oriented Cool Hands are ready to tailor the perfect option that suits your needs and budget. At Cool Hand Electric, excellence is still cool.
Cool Hand, Cool Hand, Cool Hand, where excellence is still cool.
Looking for a night out that's anything but ordinary? Step into Vault Seafood and Steakhouse, Mansfield's premier upscale dining experience. Savor perfectly aged steaks, fresh seafood, and handcrafted cocktails, all served in a stunning atmosphere. Want more? Enjoy private dining rooms and a cigar lounge for that extra touch of luxury. Vault delivers exceptional flavor in a one-of-a-kind atmosphere. Located at Matlock and Country Club, Vault Seafood and Steakhouse. Unforgettable nights. Unmatched taste.
Hi, I'm Taronda Hillman, and you're listening to About Mansfield.
Welcome back to About Mansfield. This portion of the news is brought to you by Vault Seafood and Steakhouse. The City of Mansfield and Admiral Legacy Investments have officially broken ground on the Mansfield Innovation Community, or the MIC, at Heritage and Regency Parkway. The project will bring 240,000 square feet of Class A office space to the area and is part of a larger 1 million square foot master plan community developed in phases. Natalie Phelps is the Business Retention and Expansion Manager with the Mansfield Economic Development Corporation and explains what Class A office space entails.
Class A office space will have amenities. They'll have weight rooms, restaurants, retail opportunities for employers that are, working in this building. They can go down and utilize those amenities that everybody is seeking. And so it's a great opportunity to really bring that to our market because we don't have that type of Class A office space here in Mansfield.
City and project leaders say the MIC will not only combine office space with retail, but also include residential units, parks, trails, and an innovation hub designed to foster collaboration between businesses, educational institutions, and investors. Officials hope the project will create a regional business hub and promote economic growth. The city provided 18 acres for the project through the Mansfield Economic Development Corporation.
The Mansfield ISD Board of Trustees has selected JG Consulting, a national education leadership search firm, to help identify and recruit the district's next superintendent. Founded in 2014 by President and CEO James Guerra, JG Consulting has experience in K-12 executive searches and works closely with school communities during the hiring process. Board President Dr. Benita Reed said the board looks forward to selecting a leader who aligns with the community's values and supports student success. MISD trustee Jason Thomas voted to hire JG Consulting to lead the district's superintendent search. He cited the firm's Texas track record, national reach, and ability to run a fair, community-focused process. Thomas showed a Q&A and analysis on social media to address community questions and explain why a Texas-based consultant is the best fit. The decision to hire JG Consulting comes amid controversy, as Des Moines Public Schools has filed a lawsuit accusing the Texas-based firm of failing to properly vet former Superintendent Ian Roberts, who was later found to be unauthorized to work in the United States. The district claims JG Consulting breached its contract and was negligent in verifying Robert's background while seeking to recover taxpayer funds and repair reputational harm. In response, JG Consulting maintains it conducted a thorough search using a trusted third party and disclosed all relevant information before the board made its hiring decision. The move to hire JG Consulting comes after current MISD superintendent, Dr. Kimberly Cantu, announced she will retire on February 28, 2026, after 6 years in the role.
The Mansfield City Council held a regularly scheduled meeting on Monday evening. The following opinions of those of Michael Evans may not necessarily reflect those of the Mansfield City Council, as we do every other Tuesday morning. It is a nice, cool October morning. Top of the morning, Mayor Michael Evans.
Top of the morning, fall is in the air.
Yes, it feels great.
I love it.
Let's just jump right into what happened on the City Council. Started off with a proclamation.
Yes, City Council proclaimed November the 3rd through the 7th as Municipal Courts Week, showing appreciation to our court staff and personnel. And we appreciate the court staff and the work that they do on a daily basis. Think about it. Their professionalism and people-first approach makes a really stressful situation just a little bit easier.
Yeah, I got into my Muniversity, which I absolutely love. I am a graduate of Class 1. And this is now Class 6.
Class number 6 of my Mansfield University. They're wrapping up this semester. This group of residents started the Civic Academy in August and spent the past few weeks getting to meet several city departments and learn more about what the city does. And to be honest with you, we are very grateful for their time and participation. You know, the more informed our residents are about the makings of a municipal government, the better off we are. So I'm going to ask individuals who are interested, look out, because applications are going to be coming up in the spring of 2026, and that's going to be class number 7.
And that is such a fun class to go around and learn about all of the different departments within the city. Fire Department Day was fun. Police Department Day was fun. Finance, it was.
Maybe not so fun, but very, very important.
Yes,
how about
it is.
that?
It is.
Okay.
Let's talk about awards, because cultural arts, that's fun too.
Yeah, so Council was joined by the American Planning Association Texas chapter to present awards to Mansfield for the Cultural Arts Master Plan and also the Historic Mansfield Preservation Plan of 2035, and the Richard R. Lilly Planning Excellence Program Award was given to these groups. And you know what? We are thrilled to hear what our folks just continue to do. You know, the APA's is their decision-making process is pretty rigorous and pretty hard, and we're just happy and so very proud of our staff and board members who helped to bring these awards home to Mansfield.
Speaking of cultural arts, our tourism manager, Tim Roberts, will be joining us a little bit later on with the monthly cultural arts calendar, the consent agenda.
All right. So we had a contract with AT&T to bury overhead power lines at Julian Field Park. That's going to be the location of our Veteran Memorial Park as well. And, you know, we don't want those ugly power lines blocking the view.
Yeah.
So we have a contract to make that happen. Also, a services contract in the amount of $3,268,000 for the Phase 5 expansion of the Bud Irvin water treatment plant. We all want clean water, right? Right. Yes, we do. And we also approved a resolution authorizing an amended CMAR, as we call them, this contract actually with Moss Construction for the Staybolt District. And now this item was previously approved in August of 2024, early in the design timeline. This amendment includes the expansion of scope for additional infrastructure because we are anticipating a lot of traffic in and out of that entertainment district. Because, Steve, a lot of people ask us about the traffic in that area. So we're expanding it. We're making the roads better. better and easier so people can traverse in and out of there. That's what I'm wanting to say.
Anything else on the agenda? I think that was...
Well, yeah, I tell you, we couldn't get out that early. Now, you know better than that. Yeah. So we did have a public hearing, sir. A portion of our meeting was a public hearing. We approved a zoning change for a planned development on 3.65 acres at 1840 Cannon Drive. You see all the development coming up there, all of the retail and restaurants. That place is filling up with folks trying out the new restaurants in town, and it's a good place to go. Go and visit there. Now, in new business, we only had one. In the new business portion of the meeting, council approved funding for the animal shelter and service center expansion project for a little over $524,000. Now, what's good about this is that all of this information is coming to us early, which means that they are ahead of schedule on this project. So these dollars include furniture, light fixtures, and other common equipment that is used, will be used throughout those two buildings. So we're excited. Great things are happening in Mansfield. And also, Steve, I wanted to say to people, this coming weekend, of course, we know we're going to have a lot of kids out in the street Friday, in particular for Halloween. We've got a Harvest Festival at our church at Bethlehem, and so much is going on Halloween. Please, folks, slow down, be careful, look out for the little ones, and let's have a fun Friday, but we want everybody to stay safe. So
That's right.
That's what's going on in our great city. And if folks want to see the whole meeting, just go to mansfieldtexas.gov.
There you go. Or, instead of going out trick-or-treating, we can all go to Newsom Stadium, watch some Friday Night Lights.
You know what?
I tell you what.
Friday Night Lights is a good thing.
That's right. That, my friends, is called A Moment with the Mayor. Mayor Michael Evans, have a great day. Go forth, prosper. We'll see you in a couple of weeks.
Same to you, sir. Have a good one.
The Mansfield Fire Department has announced several promotions recognizing outstanding service and leadership within the department. Adam Dickinson has been promoted to Battalion Chief of Training after 19 years with the department, having served in every rank from firefighter to captain. Daniel Bell, with nearly a decade of service, was promoted to captain, noted for his work with the SWAT team and the department's pipes and drums. Eric Shaw, a 7-year veteran and member of the technical rescue team, was promoted to engineer. In addition, firefighter John Daniel has successfully completed his 1-year probationary period and is now a permanent member of the department. Daniel, who serves at Station 3 on East Broad Street, completed extensive training and demonstrated strong performance in one of the city's busiest stations.
Week 9 of Friday Night Lights is in the books. We'll talk about it because sports is next.
Hungry for bold flavor and a good time? Head on over to El Primo's to enjoy sizzling fajitas and their signature blue margarita. Enjoy weekend live entertainment and let the kids run wild with an outdoor play area and arcade. Planning a party? Multiple private rooms are available, including the all-new Parrot's Nest to make your event a success. Food, fun, and flavor for the whole family at El Primo's. Visit elprimos.net and bring your appetite. Located at Matlock and Country Club. El Primo's, where the locals go.
Mansfield Plumbing, Electrical, Heating, and Air is a family-owned local service provider with over 20 years of experience. Servicing Mansfield and surrounding areas, we offer expert plumbing, electrical, heating, and air solutions focused on quality workmanship, customer satisfaction, fair pricing, and guaranteed results for homes and businesses.
Call 817-473-8888. Mansfield Plumbing's never second rate.
In sports, 2 of the 4 MISD teams came home with a win this past weekend in high school football. Let's take a look at the scores. Lake Ridge handed Weatherford their 6th straight loss of the season, 63-46. Timberview bested Grapevine 35-20. Legacy was defeated by Crowley 30-21. And Summit was downed by Colleyville Heritage 28-21. Your Mansfield Tigers had the week off. Let's take a look back at the Lake Ridge Weatherford game. Lake Ridge showed offensive firepower Thursday night at Newsom Stadium, outlasting Weatherford in a game that featured over 1,000 total yards. Quarterback Deshaun Edwards led the Eagles with 326 total yards and 6 touchdowns, combining for 3 passing and 3 rushing scores. Running back Jaden Cotton added 146 yards and a touchdown, while receivers Jaden Evans and Micah Blow each caught touchdown passes. Defensive scores from Cameron Wilson and Tylen Hockett helped seal the win. In Mansfield ISD, the standings are Lake Ridge is now 6-2, Timberview is 6-3, Summit 5-3, your Mansfield Tigers are an even 4-4, and Legacy is now 4-5. Next week is week 11 and is the final week of the regular season. This week's action includes just one game on Thursday night. Your Mansfield Tigers host North Crowley at Newsom. It's senior night. Friday night is not only Halloween, but Legacy also celebrates senior night as they take on Lake Ridge at Newsom. Timberview, also senior night, takes on the Colony at R.L. Anderson, while Summit travels to Everman. Kickoff, as always, is at 7 p.m. Let's take a look at the highs and lows from around the state. The highest scoring game in high school football in Week 9, Nazareth defeated Hart 89-69. The lowest scoring game in the state, Kuntz nipped Anderson Shiro 7-6. And the biggest goose egg in the state, Wharton romped Katie Harmon 74-0. In other sports, your Mansfield Lady Tigers volleyball team has closed out an impressive regular season with a 43-1 overall record and a perfect 12-0 mark in district play. The team capped the season on October 21st with a win over Boswell, extending their winning streak to 27 matches and handing Boswell its 5th straight loss. Your Mansfield Lady Tigers are hitting the road this week for round 1 of the playoffs versus Keller Thursday evening at 6 p.m. at Haltom High School Gym in Haltom City. The Lady Tigers are currently ranked 24th in the nation by Sports Illustrated. All eyes will be on them as they head into the postseason play. And that, my friends, is a look at sports.
Wrong time. Yes. Of the season. Time. What day is this? Does anybody really know what time it is? For the time they are a-changin'. Time's ticking away. We're gonna rock around the clock tonight.
Just a quick reminder to change our clocks back 1 hour this coming Sunday morning as we make the transition back to Central Standard Time for the next 4 months. Daylight Saving Time returns on Sunday, March 8th, 2026. This coming Saturday, November 1st, starts National No Shave November, which was created to raise awareness about prostate, colon, and testicular cancer in men. It starts with a promise: a razor retired, a month of the scruffy, the bearded inspired. From shadow to stubble, from patchy to proud, the whispers of whiskers are talking out loud. It's more than just bristles. It's more than just hair. It's showing you're mindful. It's showing you care for fathers, for brothers, for friends who have gone. Each beard is a banner that carries them on. The mornings grow slower. The faces grow wild. Each day a reminder: don't take life mild. So let it grow freely. No judgment, no trim. For courage and kindness both sprout from within. When December arrives and razors return, keep one truth alive from the lessons we learned. It's not what you shave, but the love you display that makes No Shave November more than just a day. Now, this may sound weird. I'd be all in if I could only grow a beard.
Coming up after the break, we turn the page to the features section.
We talk veterans, opera, and more with tourism manager Tim Roberts in the Cultural Arts Calendar.
I'm Angel Biasatti, and today we're talking about how you sleep and why your posture in bed could be the reason you're waking up stiff, sore, or cranky. In Methodist Mansfield, News to Know.
Hi, this is Todd Cleveland. Halloween is right around the corner. Find out how you can keep your family safe from your spooky decorations on this episode of Home Services Advice of the Week.
We'll talk with a finance executive in this week's 40 Under 40.
In this week's Cocktail of the Week, some cocktails wear capes. This one wears fangs.
We are Mansfield's only source for news, talk, and information. I'm Colleen Daniel, and this is About Mansfield.
This portion of the news was brought to you by El Primo's, where the locals go.
Hey there, it's Luke from Cool Hand Electric. Are you tired of dealing with plugs or lights that just won't cooperate? Well, don't fret. Give us a call. Worried about power outages or surges damaging your precious electronics? We've got you covered. Whether it's a whole house generator or surge protection, our solution-oriented Cool Hands are ready to tailor the perfect option that suits your needs and budget. At Cool Hand Electric, excellence is still cool.
Cool Hand, Cool Hand, Cool Hand, where excellence is still cool.
At Methodist Mansfield Medical Center, we've been caring for our home team for over 15 years. Today, you'll find award-winning physicians on the medical staff, advanced neurosurgery, a level 3 trauma center, critical care for newborns, and comprehensive orthopedic care. Methodist Mansfield, delivering the care our friends, neighbors, and home team depend on. That's community, and why so many people trust Methodist.
Congratulations to our latest trivia winner, Mark Prater, who knew that the oldest surviving structure in Mansfield is the Mann House, built in 1865. It began as a single log cabin and was expanded upon in stages to include a parlor, dining room, entrance hall, washroom, and an upstairs with 2 additional rooms. The Mann House is open for tours Tuesdays through Saturdays, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. at 604 West Broad Street in Mansfield. Thanks to the Mansfield Historical Museum for submitting the question. When we come back, this week's trivia question. I'm Colleen Daniel, and this is About Mansfield.
Hi, this is Joe Jenkins with Joe Jenkins Farmers Insurance, specializing in auto, home, commercial, and life insurance. I was born and raised here in Mansfield, Texas. We're active in the community, and Mansfield's a town we really care about. Our office has over 30 years' experience in the insurance industry, and we're passionate about what we do and about customer service. For a free quote, please visit our website at joejenkinsinsurance.com or give us a call at 817-472-6058. Once again, that website is joejenkinsinsurance.com.
It is time right here, right now for the highly coveted, wildly popular About Mansfield trivia question. If you are the first person to email the correct answer to trivia@aboutmansfield.com, you will receive a $25 gift card to a Mansfield restaurant of your choice. It's brought to you by Joe Jenkins Insurance. Whether you're looking for homeowners, auto, commercial, or any other type of insurance, Joe has helped Mansfield area residents understand the insurance coverage that best fit their needs since 2010. You can find him on the internet at joejenkinsinsurance.com. Colleen, it's your turn.
Well, Steve, this week's question takes us back to 1968. As the 40th governor of Texas, Preston Smith signed a law prohibiting the storage of gasoline in large above-ground tanks. This week's question is, what tragic event led to this piece of legislation? Email your answer to trivia@aboutmansfield.com. Again, what tragic event led Texas Governor Preston Smith to sign a law prohibiting the storage of gasoline in large above-ground tanks? Email your answer to trivia@aboutmansfield.com. Good luck, and thanks to Joe Jenkins Insurance for the gift card.
I'm Sylvia Duncan, a 2025 finisher of the Boston Marathon, and you're listening to About Mansfield.
Welcome back to About Mansfield, your audio newspaper. Let's open up the features section.
It is time for the cultural arts calendar. We bring in the tourism manager for the city of Mansfield. That would be Tim Roberts. Welcome back to About Mansfield.
Great to be back. And I mean, wow, the months just keep flying off the calendar right now. We're 2026 at this point, pretty much.
Oh, yeah. And October was a busy month, but looking at the list, November's a pretty busy month, too.
I mean, our fourth quarter, October through December, we keep it packed here in Mansfield. It is prime time for us.
Well, let's just jump right into it. November 6th, we start with.
Yeah, we got a brand new art exhibition coming to the Wallace Hall Art House. They're on 210 South Main Street. Quick turnaround. We go from our Wallace Hall House on November 1st to a special Veterans Day exhibit honoring through art reflections of courage. We'll have an opening reception there at the house on November 6th at 5 p.m. And that art exhibition will be open all month long, November 7th through 22nd. You can find open hours on the website for that.
And then also November 6th, it runs for a couple of days, the Troop Theater has a presentation.
Presenting Sky King, an original show. So this is another, we're always proud of these, another world premiere on the Far Best Theater stage, November 6th through 8th at 7 p.m. each night. So come check out a brand new show that's never been seen anywhere else outside of Mansfield.
It's the next item on the line, 48-Hour Sparks Film Challenge.
It is a 48-hour film festival that kicks off on November 7th. So if you're a filmmaker out there or just love making stuff, we've got a group who will be launching at the Wallace Hall Art House. You'll get your assignment and you have to make a movie in 48 hours. Write, shoot, and edit the movie, turn it back into them by November 9th at 6 p.m. And then I'll go ahead and jump down the list here. On November 16th at the Far Best Theater, we'll have the film festival where all the movies made during that competition will be shown and the winners will be announced on November 16th. So the 7th is the start of the challenge. If you want to get involved with that, get some hands-on filmmaking, but we definitely invite everybody out to the 16th to check out some amazing movies frantically made in a 48-hour period right around Mansfield, Texas.
That's pretty cool. Hey, we got a couple of Veterans Day events coming up.
First and foremost, we want to invite everybody out to the Veterans Day Parade on November 8th. It'll be at the City Hall complex as well, right there in front of Broad Street. We do a lot of events that are for everybody, and this event is for everybody, but we encourage the community to come out and support the veterans that are in this parade. Just turn out in huge numbers. Give them a thumbs up, give them a wave. They love seeing it. Again, that's November 8th at 10 a.m. And then on November 11th, Veterans Day proper, Rex Williams will be hosting a Veterans Day concert at the Far Best Theater, just honoring veterans and all who have served there at the theater. And you can find more details on the website. Veterans get in free to that show.
Nice.
So they can reach out to him and reserve their free tickets.
And speaking of the Far Best Theater, November 15th.
Monthly Magic Show, November 15th at 7 p.m. Will Baffle retakes the stage for his monthly magic show. Holiday season's coming up. Thanksgiving breaks right around the corner at that point, so start planning on ways to get the kids out of the house.
And speaking of Thanksgiving, I think it's the week of Thanksgiving, November 21st to the 23rd, but we're talking Santa Claus.
The holidays have officially kicked off at this point. Santa's Going Digital. It's a collaboration between Musical Productions and the Fleetwood Project, and all original, another world premiere musical originally written by, I believe, Rex Williams, that'll be at the Far Best Theater November 21st through the 23rd, a Christmas comedy. Come check that one out.
Do I see opera on the list?
Opera Arlington presents Hansel and Gretel November 29th and 30th. So right after Thanksgiving, come out to the Far Best Theater for a presentation of the classic Humperdinck musical Hansel and Gretel presented by Opera Arlington.
And then let's wrap this up. We got two final things on the list.
Yeah, remind everybody that the final farm and cottage markets of the year are November 8th and 15th. They'll actually have a Veterans Day observance themselves on the 8th, and then the final market of the year is the 15th. So if you haven't had a chance to come out and check it out at 703 East Broad Street, hit it up one of those 2 days. And then, as I mentioned, the holidays are almost here. We're packing the holiday calendar out, and I know you probably want to plan ahead of time, so go to MansfieldHometownHolidays.com. We'll go into way more detail on that next month, but start previewing the events right now where we're updating that website almost every day at this point.
That is Tim Roberts. He is the tourism manager for the city of Mansfield. That is the cultural arts calendar. Tim, go forth. We'll see you in a month.
See you in December.
Angel Biasatti is here to talk about how your sleep posture can affect your mood in Methodist Mansfield News to Know. Angel?
If you've ever rolled out of bed with a sore neck, an achy back, or tight shoulders, your body might be sending you a message. Your sleep posture is off. But do not worry. With a few simple tweaks, you can sleep like a superstar and wake up feeling refreshed and pain-free. Here are 7 expert-backed tips to correct your sleep posture. Morning aches along with your spine are a warning. Your body is telling you It spent the night out of alignment. Sleep the way you stand. Think straight line from head to tailbone, ears over your shoulders, shoulders over your hips, and chin level. Small adjustments can make a huge difference. Avoid sleeping on your tummy. Stomach sleeping may reduce snoring, but it often leads to neck and shoulder strain. Side or back sleeping keeps your spine happier. Pick the right pillow. Back sleepers, use a firm or an ergonomic pillow. Side sleepers, use a pillow that is the same height as you are from neck to shoulder. And remember, pillows do not last forever. Replace them when they lose support. And fill in the gaps. Use small pillows or towels to support your knees, hips, or lower back. A body pillow for side sleepers can align your hips and reduce pressure. Even subtle support changes can keep muscles relaxed all night long. Choose the right mattress. Not too soft, not too firm. Your mattress should cushion yet stabilize. Research shows you should replace your bed every 7 years for the best sleep results. Try basic remedies for lingering pain. Soreness happens, but persistent pain needs a professional check from your primary care physician. For typical aches, over-the-counter anti-inflammatories, gentle stretching, massages, alternating heat or ice packs, or even a hot shower before bed can work wonders. Sleep is not just rest. It's recharging your body and mind. With these tweaks, you can wake up pain-free, energized, and ready to take on the day. For more wellness tips and resources, visit MethodistHealthSystem.org. That's Methodist Mansfield News to Know. I'm Angel Biasatti, reporting for the About Mansfield podcast.
Todd Cleveland offers electrical safety tips when it comes to Halloween decorations in the Home Services Advice of the Week. Todd?
Well, Rob, holiday season is upon us. So we need to be thinking about all the decorations that are going up, the lights, the inflatables, all these things. How do we keep our homeowners safe?
Man, there's so much to talk about. During the holidays, we see a spike in electrical calls constantly. The number one thing I would definitely recommend, you have those plugs. They're called GFCI plugs, ground fault circuit interrupters. Everybody's got them. They got a test and reset button. Make sure those are working. If you're not sure, get an electrician out to test it. We have devices we can use to make sure they're working correctly. Next thing, everybody's got extension cords running everywhere. Extension cords are not the safest bet. So make sure if you have them plugged into something, it is into a GFCI protected outlet. The plug strips, where people like to plug something in and then have 15 different things plugged into one circuit. Your circuit is not built for that. Everything was designed in your house with a certain amount of electricity, if you will, to go through that outlet. Please try at all costs to not do that. Use different outlets. If you're going to use extension cords, make sure they're safe. Make sure they're plugged into GFI outlets. There's several things you can do as far as adding outlets to the house. Time clocks to where you can only have them on certain times of day when you're actually at the house is being attended. Instead of leaving them on constantly all the time and you're not there, something does happen, nobody's there to turn anything off for you. Next thing is CO2 detectors, smoke detectors. This is actually something people overlook. The other thing, at least if you're in my house, candles are a huge thing, starting about Halloween. And then my house is full of candles the whole time. Make sure your smoke detectors are working. Make sure the batteries are all good. It's good to have somebody come out, change the batteries for you, test all of them, make sure they're interconnected. If you have gas in the house, make sure your CO2, carbon monoxide detectors are working. One other big thing, you're going to add the Christmas lights is a big deal. You're adding load to your house. It's a good idea to get us out there and make sure you don't need maybe a dedicated circuit strictly just for those Christmas lights. We can do things like put them in the eaves so you can plug into the eave of your house and not have extension cords running everywhere, getting rid of one of the safety issues. Also totally limiting the demand on your system where you're not having overload problems. If a breaker did fail and it was overloaded, that's obviously not a good thing. everything that your house was designed to do, try to keep it in that original, what it was designed for. If there's 2 outlets, only 2 things should be plugged into it, not 10 things. I know that seems like common sense, but I'm a master electrician, and I walk into our house and my wife's got 15 things plugged into surge strips. I've had to go through this whole thing on my house also. It's always a good idea to have somebody come out, take a look at your house, go through a whole electrical inspection, make sure it's prepared. It's all ready to be able to put that demand on it and give you some options to not only make your house safer, but make it a lot easier on you and more enjoyable.
Here's something we could also think about. If you're adding plugs in, we could add smart plugs.
Absolutely.
And you can control those with your cell phone. So you put the app on your phone, you can control all your lights that are plugged into those smart plugs or smart switches as well.
Yeah, it's actually pretty cool. You can if you do all the safety measures, it actually makes it more enjoyable. There's a lot of really cool things you can do. A lot of cool things. We're past the plug an extension cord in and just string a bunch of lights up. We can do a lot of really cool stuff.
Yeah, so give us a call here at Mansfield Plumbing, Electrical, Heating, and Air and have one of our professional licensed electricians come out and give you all your options.
Call 817-473-8888. Mansfield Plumbing's never second rate.
The Mansfield Business Alliance has recently released their 40 under 40. Now, this is 40 people, all under the age or at the age of 40. This is the next generation of leaders here in Mansfield, and we have one of them right here in the studio today, the Director of Finance at Cellmark Corporation. It's a leader in outdoor and shooting sports products, headquartered right here in Mansfield with a strong background in corporate finance and strategic planning. He plays a key role in guiding Cellmark's growth, helping the company stay financially strong while expanding its reach in more than 60 countries around the world. He's known for his analytical mind, and we're going to get into that analytical mind, and also known for his steady leadership. Our guest combines financial expertise with a deep understanding of business operations, ensuring Cellmark continues to thrive in a competitive market. We welcome Christopher Kirshen to About Mansfield.
Hi, Steve. Happy to be here.
How you doing?
Excellent. Doing good this morning.
We work right down the hall from each other.
Yeah, it didn't take me long to find you. I wandered around just to give it a little bit of a little play into it a little bit, but yeah, I knew right where I was coming.
How does it feel to be chosen, the one of the chosen one of the 40 under 40?
I mean, I'm honored to be part of the group in the class. I'm not a huge recognition person.
Yeah.
I don't do anything I do for recognition. I just kind of, part of it just comes natural to me to help others, to kind of help serve the community, give back. I want to see others do well. And if I can help somebody do well, then that's where I feel proud of myself if I can do that. But anything else that comes along with it's just extra on top, that it's not part of the game plan when you go into it.
You're a director of finance. What does a director of finance do, and is this something you wanted to do when you were a little kid? Like, hey, I like money. I'll be did you just kind of fall into this? Or?
I mean, this exact role, yes. I wanted to say I fell into it, but I worked my way up into it. I was always good at math and numbers and solving problems, and I like stuff being very black and white. Mm-hmm. Starting with the company 15 years ago, I didn't have any aspirations to be an accountant or do finance for the company. I've got to learn my lane. I got to know what I'm doing. I came in as inside sales. Hey, Chris, pick up a phone and call people.
Oh, nice.
Sell products. Get told no 80% of the time.
Sure.
Like, I didn't know that's what the job was. I didn't even know what business really was when I graduated college. I knew getting through the program and everything, like kind of the basics of it, but how to run a business, how do you make it profitable? How do you make it successful? I came from a long line of my grandpa started his own business. My dad started his own business. So I had seen little bits and pieces of it, but I just thought those guys were I was in awe and shock of them because I couldn't imagine myself going and doing that or what it takes to run a business. So yeah. I wanted to start from the ground level and just start learning everything I could, soak up as much knowledge. I was a hunter and shooter my whole life and fisherman, thinking I knew everything about optics and guns and stuff. And I get here, I'm like, I know nothing.
Oh, wow.
I got humbled so fast thinking, man, I was going to come in here and be that next brainiac smart guy because I've grown up hunting and shooting. There's so much more to optics and selling and red dots and products that I had no clue about it on the backside of the industry. So starting off in sales, having to kind of what they call pick up the phone and smile and dial and just keep going. Man, you learn a lot really quick, and you get rejected a lot real quick. And I learned really quickly I could hold the conversation, I could talk to the guy, I could build a relationship. But when it came time to close, I was not a closer. I was not good at just asking for the sale and getting him to commit to buy, but I was good at building that relationship. So from that point, I started kind of ping-ponging my way through the company into different departments and went to marketing, went to brand management, customer service, then went to operations where I was doing forecasting and inventory planning. And then I started to slowly peek into the accounting finance side. And I was like, man, I'm really kind of good at this. I enjoy doing this. This doesn't drain my energy every day.
Nice.
So I just started naturally gravitating towards that and kind of working with James, our CEO. And I mean, his brain is just so business oriented all the time. So I was just always constantly trying to soak up as much as I could from him on, hey, when you say this, what do you mean? Or why are we tracking that metric? What is that? What is the point of that? What does that do? And I'm just over there just constantly thinking, I love working in Excel. So I'm like, okay, I could build this in Excel. I could do this. I can make a formula here.
Next thing you know, you're the director of finance.
Yeah. So I don't want to say like I had aspirations to do it, but it's just that's where my energy stayed at a full level was when I was working in Excel sheets and doing math and kind of solving accounting problems and stuff like that. So
you mentioned going through college. Where'd you go through?
Texas Tech.
Texas Tech.
Yep.
They just changed their logo.
Yeah, I saw that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any thoughts on the new logo?
I really don't. I mean, I did a little over 4 years out there in Lubbock, and I really enjoyed my time out there. But to be completely honest, I have not even been back to Lubbock since I graduated in 2009.
Okay.
So,
and then you took some courses at UTA.
I did. I went back, got my MBA.
You got your MBA. Nice.
Yeah, graduated at the end of 22. Went through their cohort program, which was it's like a 16-month accelerated program. Right after COVID, so it was a little bit of hybrid, but we did as much as we could during in class. It was in the Fort Worth campus. So went back and did that, and I felt, obviously, coming out of undergrad and then going and work for 10 years and then going back to school, to me, I was like, that's the best way to do it because you get all the work experience and then you can come back and apply everything you learned in an MBA program exactly to your job.
Right.
And of course, there's a mixture of kids that had come straight out of undergrad and went into the program, and then some that had been working for 40 years and then coming back and doing it. So you get the good blend of it. But I thought that was super beneficial and really helped me turn a corner in thinking less sometimes like an individual contributor and more strategically on a little bit of a higher level. So that I think going back has really kind of opened my eyes to more kind of that technical training and getting those technical skills.
Let's talk about work-life balance. Or do you have a work-life balance?
Yeah, no, I'm an avid believer in a steady, good work-life balance. I think if you're just turned on all the time, one way or the other, whether it's all work, no home, or all home, no work, it's a bad ratio there. I think you've got to have a really good balance, and you've got to stick to your plan on what you say. So my work-life balance is I'll come in, work 8 to 5, 8 to 6, 8 to 7 sometimes, but when I'm here, I'm working. And that's my job. I will do as much work as I'm here. But the second I clock out or walk through those doors, I turn it off and I'm strictly home.
Your day is done.
My day is done. But I'd rather stay a couple more hours after work and actually get additional projects done, get stuff done there. But that's work. But the second I get home, I've got a family. I've got 2 kids. They've got sports. They've got things that they need to be doing. So if it's not really fair to them if I just keep bringing the work home and instead of helping them with their homework or feeding them dinner or going to their sporting stuff, I'm just constantly working on my phone or pulling up the laptop. So I don't think that's really fair to my wife and my kids to do that. So we've got a great balance right now coming the way that our situation's set up. And I think it's very important to make sure that you still dedicate enough time to work to get the job done. But I mean, your family's your number one thing. Like if I had to pick anything in the world, it'd be my family. So
sure.
I got to make sure that I'm putting the effort towards them, and they see that and understand that and feel that as well.
Well, and it's nice that you work for a corporation that is their business hours are 8 to 5.
Yeah,
and some of the people that come in here. It's a 24-hour business, and it's like, oh, gosh, I worked till 10 o'clock last night, and I missed my son's soccer game and things like that.
Sometimes you have to do that, though.
Yeah.
Trust me, there's nights here where I'm like, hey, Lauren, I'm sorry, I gotta be here till 10 o'clock tonight. We're going to have a big project, and But hopefully we can plan ahead of that a little bit. Like I don't like dropping that on her that same day if I can avoid it. But I mean, that's part of it. That's part of that balance, though.
Are there people in the community that you would like to recognize as maybe a mentor, someone who helped you get to where you are today?
That's a good question.
That's why I'm the host.
Yeah, no, it's really good. And I probably go back to two people. It's my grandpa and my dad that both starting their business and showing me how to run a business from the ground up and also have the family life and the balance. And I mean, to me, they were the best. My dad was the best dad I could have ever asked for. And my grandpa, I mean, he's an amazing person. He's a successful business person.
What does he do?
So my grandpa started a business doing plastic injection molding where he started making dog kennels and gun cases. So he actually was the first one to invent the dog kennel for airplane travel, which is a weird niche, but it's something that he created and came up with and kind of expanded onto there. And he's been in Arlington for 60 years now, kind of central Arlington. So we've been very close to him proximity-wise and then even family-wise going over there for Christmas and holidays and events and stuff like that. So he's been a very integral part of my life. And then watching my dad start an electrical business, and he owned it, and it was called Kirschen Electric. And I mean, he ran it for 20 to 25 years and had crews coming in and going out, and we would go work for him for the summers and strip wire to get all the copper out and stuff, and just start understanding the work during the summers and stuff like that. So, and just what it takes to run a business, it's not easy. If it was easy, everybody'd be doing it. There's a lot of risk inherently in there, and these two guys did it so successfully. And I'm over here sitting back thinking like, man, do I want to do that one day, or could I even do that? So to have that example and to have them still around to be able to go and talk to them and bounce ideas off of is huge for me. And I even bounce ideas off stuff we're doing here. I'm like, hey, you ran a manufacturing business. How do we do X, Y, Z, or how do we look at this? And then talking to my dad, hey, how do you manage people's time on certain things like this? I mean, so it's just invaluable to have those two guys in my life that have been such a shining example of how to run a good business and run an awesome family at the same time.
Your dad and your grandfather.
I know. Yeah.
If you were to go back in time, in fact, let's go back in time to 10-year-old Chris, what advice would you give him?
I would just say, keep being yourself. Just don't be unapologetically yourself. I think when you start to try to be somebody you're not or act some way you're not supposed to, I think that's when you start getting in trouble. And I think that's where you start finding wayward paths. I think if you get that good core foundation and you know what's right and wrong, I would continue to tell myself just, take risks, do things. But at the end of the day, rely and fall back on your core values and just stay steady. Everything will be okay. And I mean, also rely on falling back on my faith. And
sure.
And we raised Catholic and big Catholic families, and
peace be with you.
And thank you. And also and with your spirit.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that's the new. Yeah. I almost said and also with you, but that's the old way.
Yes.
You got to think of the new way now. New meaning the last few years or handful of years. But but yeah, so it just that's been a staple of our life, and that's down from the grandparents all the way down to the next generation, down to our generation, and we're doing the best that we can to push that down to our kids and their generation. So
I always like to conclude these interviews with an open mic, and the open mic is your opportunity to, whether it's shout outs or thank yous or words of advice or whatever's on your mind.
Yeah. No, that's perfect.
The mic is yours.
No, thank you so much, Steve. So I've already kind of called out my grandpa and my dad. And so I think there's two more people I just really want to call out and say thank you to. And I mean, James being one. I mean, he's kind of, whether he knows it or not, he kind of took me under his wing 15 years ago. And I've always kind of had some path working underneath him in some capacity, even if I had different managers at the time. But he's seen something in me. And I see it in myself sometimes, but when I doubt it and then I hear it come from him, and it's usually not directly from him because he's never going to tell me, Chris, you're awesome, you're doing good. Yeah. It's usually through proximity or he's talking to somebody about me. Man, he's just really shown me kind of what it takes, and he's seen something in me that I don't even see in myself that it's allowed me to keep going and believe in myself. And it's kind of shown in my leadership style and the way that I carry myself and the confidence I have. I don't believe myself to be an accountant or this awesome finance guy, but he does.
Yeah.
So by nature of it, then I do. So I believe it. So then I act like that. And I think when you act like that, you actually are doing what you're supposed to be doing. So just a real big thank you and shout out to him for always believing in me and having that confidence. And then my wife, Lauren, I mean, she's been incredible. I mean, she's an entrepreneur herself. She started her own real estate group and team and stuff like that. So just watching her, so I'm surrounded by these entrepreneurial minds and spirits and people that are just saying, I don't care how hard it is, I'm going to go do it. And I know it's going to pay off in the end. It's going to be successful. So just those kind of things help me when I have self-doubt. Like, man, I don't know if I can do this. I don't know if I'm good enough. I don't know if this. And then I start to think around the people around me. I'm like, man, I'm around these successful people that are just doing it and kicking butt at doing it. I can do that too. I can be that way as well too. So just a real big, awesome thank you to James and to my wife, Lauren, for being those examples for me.
Christopher Kirshen, Director of Finance for Somar Corporation, and congratulations on being 40 under 40.
Hey, thank you, Steve. I appreciate it.
Thanks for being on About Mansfield.
Absolutely.
Shaken or stirred, you know it's going to be good as Brian Certain serves up a drink that's dark and moody in this week's Cocktail of the Week. Brian?
It's dark, it's moody, and it's dangerously easy to drink. The kind of cocktail that shows up late for the party, makes eye contact across the room, and disappears before you get its number. Welcome to this week's Cocktail of the Week and the finale in our Trick or Treat for Adults series. All month long, we've transformed Halloween nostalgia into elegant, grown-up cocktails, and this is the final entry, and it's no exception. The Bloody Blackberry Mule is bold, it's spicy, and it's hauntingly good. It's a twist on the classic Moscow Mule with seasonal depth, fall color, and enough drama to close out October with flourish. How are we going to make it? If you insist, I'll let you pour vodka, but I really prefer adding 2 ounces of bourbon. It's going to give it a smoky depth that vodka just doesn't add. Then you're going to add 3/4 of an ounce of fresh lime juice, a 1/2 ounce of blackberry syrup, and then 4 ounces of a good ginger beer. My preference is Q ginger beer, but you do you. Then optionally, we're going to add some Angostura bitters, and then I'm going to garnish with blackberries, a lime wheel, or perhaps a sprig of mint. To make the blackberry syrup, we're going to buy in a 1/2 cup of fresh or frozen blackberries, a 1/2 cup of water, 1/2 cup of sugar in a saucepan, simmer until the berries break down, strain twice, and then cool. And then in a copper Moscow Mule mug or a highball glass, add the vodka, if you insist. My preference, add the bourbon, the lime juice, and the blackberry syrup. Fill with ice and then top with Q ginger beer. Stir to combine gently. Then garnish with a skewered blackberry, a lime wheel, or that sprig of mint. A little dry ice for flair, entirely optional, but excellent because Halloween's in a couple of days. This drink is crisp, it's tart, it's slightly sweet with a ginger kick, and the blackberry gives it that deep, blood red hue that feels right at home this time of year. Little trivia, the Moscow Mule was born in the 1940s as a marketing play between a vodka distributor, a guy who owned the Cock and Bull pub in L.A., and the copper mug, a gimmick that stuck, and thankfully so. Blackberries, meanwhile, have long been associated with folklore and protection. In some cultures, they were believed to ward off evil spirits. Coincidence? Maybe. But when Halloween rolls around, it doesn't hurt to be holding something strong and dark in your hands. As always, I'm here to hear your take and your input. You can reach me at brian@bourbongospel.com. And until next week, as Mark Twain said, too much of anything is bad, but too much whiskey is barely enough. Reporting for the About Mansfield podcast, I'm Brian Certain. And when I checked my driver's license, you're still not.
We're back in 60 seconds with the conclusion of Steve's interview with the voice of Newsom Stadium, Stu Stewart.
Imagine a city where innovation knows no bounds, where dreams take flight, and the future unfolds before your very eyes. Welcome to Mansfield, a beacon of growth and a testament to vision. In the heart of Mansfield, a remarkable transformation is underway. But it's not just about the physical landscape. It's about the spirit that drives us forward. A spirit of collaboration that bridges cultures, a spirit of entrepreneurship that fuels prosperity, and a spirit of community that binds us as one. Mansfield is more than just a place. It's a canvas where diversity paints the picture of progress. From art festivals that ignite creativity to tech hubs that redefine boundaries, this city celebrates every voice, every passion. Mansfield, where growth knows no limits and the vision is limitless. Brought to you by the unstoppable spirit of the Mansfield Economic Development Corporation.
Hey, you guys, I'm Sean Surface with Second Chance Mentors, and you're listening to About Mansfield.
Welcome back to another segment of About Mansfield. I'm Steve Casillo as we make the transition from news to talk. Today, part 2, with our interview with the voice of Newsom Stadium, Stu Stewart. Stu, let's talk about your banking career. What do you do in banking?
So I started when I moved up here in 98 to Arlington. I was just looking for a job. And at the Border Street location in Arlington, Chase, this was before the JP Morgan days, before Bank One merged with them. They were just Chase. And I felt that version of Chase was trying to make a foothold here in Texas. They were impressing their customers. Totally different world than what it is today. They had a temp agency. Went in there, did temp work, and I remember vividly my first day, I meet Tony Robinson, amazing manager, another one of those people you cross paths in life who mold you as a human being. I met her. She showed me the place, and she said, okay, I'm going to sit you back here, and you're going to do type 37 returns, which is serial number, bank number, and the amount to the bank of first deposit. I know I'm really going deep into detail here, but the moral of the story is I sit down, and for a few seconds in my head, I'm like, dude, get up and go. This isn't what you want to do. Get out of here. Well, 26 years later, I'm now an operations manager with now Comerica Bank. So it's amazing how a temp job turns into a 26-year career.
Is that still the same? So Chase?
So I went from Chase. I was at Chase for about 9 years, went to PNC, did about a combined 9 years there, a 7-year stint, then 2 more years.
Okay.
A regrettable time going to Citi. Won't talk about that. Then I was saved from – it was a bad point in life after I left Citi and went back to PNC overnights. I found Frost Bank. It was a good time going there. Did about 4 years there, and just as of April this year, I am now at Comerica Bank, which I hope is the final destination in my banking career. I need to retire.
Do your coworkers, your boss, they know what you do on the side?
Well, you have to disclose that anymore.
Oh, you do?
Yeah. When you get, at least for banking, the last few banking jobs I've had, they've had it where if you do anything that's a side income, you have to report it. And it has to make sure it doesn't conflict with banking, anything. Like basically, if I was announcing and we were sponsored by a bank or I was trying to promote their products, there could be some conflict of interest there. Right. But because all the things I do have nothing to do with selling, various, services with the bank, it doesn't conflict. But yeah, my coworkers know I'm a bingo caller. Some people have heard me on, through social media, doing the announcing. So yeah, you kind of have to disclose that stuff anymore. But it's. As a matter of fact, we recently had an event where I called bingo at banking because we were doing fundraising, and I called bingo, and people were like, "Hey, you're good at this." I said, "Yeah, I know. I call it all the time."
It says Boo Stew.
It says Boo Stew.
There you go. You started your high school PA announcing. Fort Worth, Farrington Field.
Farrington Field, which, by the way, if we're an announcer, just a little pro tip there, they are never going to remodel that stadium. So you have to walk all the flights up to the press box. There is no elevator at Farrington Field. So just keep that in mind. You're going to be in for a workout if you go announce at Farrington.
Is there...
But I like Farrington because it has the old school type of stadium setting. Yeah. I really like it's a beautiful stadium as far as kind of the old school aesthetics. You just got to walk a long ways to get to your seat.
When did you switch from Farrington to R.L. Anderson.
So in 2011, I did about 5 years, and Fort Worth is relatively close, but it was still a decent drive because you have to remember, I'm doing banking. At that point, I was in Richardson doing PNC, going to Fort Worth on Fridays, living in Arlington. So I'm doing this mecca travel triangle here. And I was really eager to try to get closer to home, at least for the announcing. So again, networking, made contacts, and I think I met one of the people, like athletic director at Mansfield, and she brought me on to do R.L. Anderson at first. Started in 2016.
The minor league stadium.
The minor league stadium, yeah. Which kind of the aesthetic of Farrington and R.L. are kind of similar because they're more low tech, if you will.
Yeah.
But that's not a knock against it. Though Farrington does have a nice board. R.L. Anderson recently got a board there. Mm-hmm. But I say low tech in the sense of it feels like if you ever watch Varsity Blues and you see how high school football is portrayed on the big screen, that's kind of the aesthetic I got working at Farrington and working at R.L. Anderson, which, by the way, the Dallas Cowboy documentary on Netflix.
Yeah.
Farrington Field is mentioned.
There you go.
Yeah, it's mentioned in that documentary. So I got closer to home 2016, and as I was doing events, occasionally they would ask me, hey, are you available to do Vernon Newsom? And I said, yeah, but you sure I'm ready for that? Because that's big leagues, And I remember I think it was 2019. It was 2019 when I took it over more on a full-time basis. But a couple of gigs here, 17, 18, did once or twice. But 2019, I remember going into it, the preseason meeting. We had a meeting at Vernon Newsom Stadium, and we're in the press box. And I think the guy, I don't remember officially meeting him, but I think the guy who was the voice was in bad health. He wasn't doing too well, and I took it over. And we went into the COVID season of 2020. It was so weird doing announcing because we had the glass partitions between each section.
Oh, wow.
The time clock, the 24-second clock, my spotter and me all had a partition. It was so weird. But we got through it, and I've been the voice ever since. So next season will be 10 years with Mansfield, and it will be 7 years at Vernon Newsom next year.
Talk about what it's like in the press box, because you've got you mentioned the spotter, the 24.
Yes.
Give the listeners a description of what you have around you.
So I got to give big props. I can't remember last names, but we have a great gentleman in the box, Coach Kevin Klein. Kevin Klein's an amazing clock operator. He was one of the first men that I met when I went to Vernon Newsom, and kind of had that intimidating factor, like please accept me, sir. I want to be one of the cool kids.
Yeah.
But Kevin's an amazing clock operator. We have a lot of random. I think one of the 24-second guys' name is Scotty. He's very cool. And my spotter, my right hand man. Let me tell you something. If you ever do announcing, if you can do announcing and spotting at the same time, which I've had to do sometimes. You can do it, but your spotter makes you sound 100% better. And Monty, my spotter, is my Robin to this Batman, or maybe I'm his Robin to his Batman. I don't know. But how it works is I'm here. I have a microphone like I have right here in front of me.
Sure.
And I'm just, I'm stationed pretty much right at the 50-yard line. So got great view. It's a wonderful stadium. I love Vernon Newsom Stadium. It's amazing. So I'm in the press box, and we have a pit where we're in, and then we have up on the stairs a gentleman named Nathan, and his video crew are running the big board.
Nathan Wood.
Board. Nathan Wood.
Nathan Wood.
Nathan, thank you.
Shout out to
Nathan is an amazing guy.
The teacher over at Ben Barber.
Oh yes, and his students do work and everything for him. I tell you, it's like being part of a group of guys that we have fun. We enjoy talking. It's a brotherhood in there. I now feel part of the group because we'll crack a joke. If I say something funny, it goes from odd looks to, oh man, Stu's kind of funny, But it's really one of those games. Like we love competitive games. We love it when it's a very close one. Sometimes the blowouts were like, okay, so we're going to run the clock in the second half, right?
That's it. But or the opponent's going to run the clock.
Or the opponent's going to run the clock in the second half. But I love it. Look, one of these days I would love to do college announcing, go into a college game, pro game, be the announcer for a team that way. But seeing the true, raw, competitive nature of high school football, that is so much fun. It's a great experience to be the announcer there.
And to go into playoffs and know that these seniors, it could be their last time they ever play football.
100%. Yep.
And so when they give it, and this is what I love about college basketball. Same thing when they get into the NCAA finals.
Yep.
Is that some of these players are never going to play basketball again.
This is their
moment.
moment.
It's heart and soul.
Yep.
And so watching high school, watching college is
well, and the reverse of that is when you know a kid is committed to a big time college, and then you see their career, and it's like you say, I remember that kid when he played at blank. And that is a great feeling. Like I've posted on my TikTok under A Voice for Hire. I've posted a lot of my announcing that I do. That's where you get it on Facebook because I share it there.
Yeah.
But a lot of my videos now are I'm starting to get the local high school fandom. They're starting to say, oh, that's the guy. So I posted, I've had one of my Timberview playoff videos hit 10,000 watches, and recently we did Lake Ridge's homecoming, and that video's at about 8,500.
Lake Ridge, which, again, we're recording on October 7th. Lake Ridge homecoming was just last weekend.
It was just last weekend. They played Mansfield Tigers, and they won 44-21, I believe. And it was a good game, and I got to announce the homecoming, put that video out there, and it's so cool. Parents are like, thank you for posting this. Thank you for putting this out there. Because now on social media, there's a footprint saying, my kid was homecoming king, queen, or scored the touchdown, or was part of that game. And that's one thing. I don't know if anybody was doing that, as an announcer, at least in this area. I've seen other announcers post their stuff, and that's kind of the inspiration. But I started doing it and saying, hey, why not put some eyes on this thing? Why not put some ears to this? And you get a little bit of that ego. This is where the radio guy comes out and me going like, hey, that's me. I am the voice. Nobody deemed me the voice of Vernon Newsom Stadium. There's another guy who does it on Thursday night when I'm not there. But
I was going to ask you that. So you don't do Thursdays?
The only reason I don't do Thursdays is because I've been doing bingo on Thursdays.
Okay.
I've been building my bingo business.
Well, the Arlington thing's now.
I know. Well, funny story. On the Thursday night bingo, a lady came up to me and she said, hey, your voice sounds familiar. Have you ever done football announcing? I said, yes, I have. For Fort Worth? Yes. I know you. I used to be she is the athletic director at Fort Worth. So she's basically saying, hey, you want to come back? I said, no, I got a good gig at Mansfield, but if there's a spare night where I can, do something for you, sure. But again, you never burn bridges.
Watching high school football now, you get to watch all 5 MISD teams.
Yes.
Who's the next great player? I know who it is, but
well, I know if I remember correctly, I believe there's one of the kids on the Lake Ridge team has already committed to big time college.
Yes,
the wide receiver,
the offensive tackle.
The offensive. Yes, okay. There's actually I heard a wide receiver I believe is going, and you're right. There's an offensive tackle who is committed. Now I can't remember. I can't tell you which one. What's his name?
Felix Oho.
Oho, yes, Felix Oho.
And you and I think we briefly chatted about this on Facebook Messenger. I think your response was yes, the guy is a beast.
Yes,
Felix
he's
committed to Texas Tech.
Okay,
he's one of the top 10 in the country for high school linemen.
Love it.
And his NIL, his name, image, likeness,
yes,
is worth $5 million.
Wow, that's amazing. I wish my likeness could be worth $5 sometimes.
And so I don't know what that means. Does that mean when the day he goes to college, he's handed a check for $5 million? Or
well, we're in such a new world now where that is the thing. Because I still remember the big argument was no, kids going to college shouldn't be paid for it. But I disagree. I think, hey, if this is the only time you're going to have a chance to shine, why not make some money off of that? Now you don't need millions and millions of contract in a contract, but why not make some money? Especially the big argument was, I remember it was Ed O'Bannon, I think it was, back in the day at UCLA.
Yeah.
He was really leading a lawsuit about, hey, this NCAA game has my likeness. Why am I not getting paid for it?
Exactly.
And I feel these kids, if this is going to be their chance to sign, plus you never know injuries. You may get an injury in college and it ruins your chances for the pros. So why not make some money while you can? So good for him.
If
That's
you
great.
win the Heisman and you wind up on the cover of a Wheaties,
The Wheaties box.
a Wheaties, but because you're in college, you're an amateur, you don't get paid for that?
Yeah, I don't
doesn't
get
make
that.
sense.
It doesn't make sense at all. So it's great for Felix to go into college at Texas Tech and see what happens. If he's able to succeed and do well, go to the next level, even better. But what if this is it? What if this is the big time? Why not make some money off your likeness?
It sounds like you enjoy your job.
I love it. I don't see how. If you go back into watching, if you ever pull up recordings of an announcer or a bingo caller, and you hear the traditional tackle made by number 72, it's just so monotone. You got to have a little energy. One of the big things I do, and I've been doing this because I was a band nerd.
Wait. Energy. Energy.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Stewart.
That kind of energy?
That kind of energy. That's right.
Kind of energy.
Well,
you're bringing personality back to.
Yes, that's the DJ in me.
And so if it's third down.
Oh, yeah. If it's third down for a team that's a non-Mansfield team, the scoreboard operator has a third down logo and graphic.
Make some noise.
And I go, and that'll bring up third down. Just to make it intimidating, like you're not going to make that third down and do it for fourth down and stuff like that. But I did those kind of things, and I remember when I started doing announcing, you kind of pick up on what other people did.
Yeah.
Then I started doing my own thing, and I'm like, I am not going to just go by the rule book. I may bend some of the rules of how a personality should be. I don't know if they are rules. Maybe I'm making my own set of rules.
Now I would assume. So you're out there in Farrington years and years ago.
Yeah.
You pretty much played it by the book.
Yeah, because I didn't know what to do.
But little by little,
you start tapping
adding,
your toe.
Exactly,
yes.
And as they say, pushing the envelope.
Yes, I pushed the envelope.
It's
Okay,
okay.
I'll give you an example.
Yeah,
at Farrington, I remember one of the people in the athletic department was up there, and he was talking with some few people in there, and he said, "Yeah, that scoreboard does all this. The announcer's not that big of a deal. We flash, make some noise, and the crowd makes noise." And I said, "Really? Go ahead and flash it up there." Crickets. And I said, "All right, Farrington Phil, let's make some noise." And it went nuts. And I said, "Really? Your scoreboard did that, or was that me?" There you go. So that's why it's a mixture. You have to time it right. If you put the visual with the audio, it works. If you do one or the other, it might not. But I brought the energy to make the audio catch your attention. I'm very big. Like when I call bingo, if it's a monotone crowd, I'm like, okay, guys, come on. Y'all got to make some noise here. None of this quiet stuff. When somebody wins and they don't clap, I'm like, make some noise, y'all. Come on.
That's right.
That's what a personality does. They drag it out of you. And that's where, and I'm sure you can attest to this, there are times where a big crowd will fuel your energy. A small crowd will test you even more than a bigger crowd.
Absolutely.
Because the bigger crowd, they feed off each other. If you only got 10 people out there, you're having to work twice as hard to get 10 people to notice you versus 100 people where 50 of them are paying attention and 50 aren't, but the 50 who are making the other 50 sound louder. So when I'm doing bingo, announcing, radio, whatever, it's my job to make those people pay attention and listen, and you never know what's going to happen there. Make the magic happen.
Would you say that you are the 12th, if you will, 12th in quotes?
Yes.
The 12th cheerleader.
The 12th cheerleader, yeah, very much so. Yeah, okay. Because I love it, especially when we get to playoff time and there's a clear Mansfield school going against a clear team that is not in your district, is not, could be sharing the stadium with you. Like I remember, I think the reason why the Timberview video is getting so many views is because I was able to bring a very passionate energy saying that, hey, I'm representing Timberview and Mansfield versus the enemy, so to speak, coming into our house. And it's electrifying. I love those moments. It is so fun. That's why the next step is hopefully maybe a college will say, hey, Let's get Stu as the announcer.
This guy over at Newsom. I know you're a big football fan. Is there another sport that you would love to do PA announcing for?
So I've done football, obviously. I actually did announcing for the Fort Worth Brahmas. So that's hockey. So I've done hockey, public address announcing, and play-by-play. I've done some football play-by-play. I've done basketball. When I was at Farrington for Fort Worth, I actually did Wilkerson. Is that the name of the arena out there?
Let's say, yeah.
Yeah, sure. I did basketball for Fort Worth ISD, doing public address for them. The only sport I haven't done is baseball, though I know I'm going to have a lot of people go, why don't you like baseball? Baseball just doesn't do it for me. Okay. I will follow the Rangers, and I like the Rangers, but my tops are football, hockey, basketball, baseball. So I've done
in that order.
Okay. So I've pretty much done the sports I wanted to do, but I would love to step the game up now, go to the college level or the pro level. It does help to be a fan of the sport you're announcing big time. It really does. So that's one good thing, since I love football. I've never played football. I'm not an expert, but I at least know football enough that, if somebody does a inside handoff, off tackle, I can, do that. But with public address announcing, you don't have to do extensive play-by-play. Right. You just have to know who carried it, who tackled, what down and distance. That's all you got to do. But you're right. Your spotter will bail you out of a lot of things, but they will not write your script for you.
No. Where do you see Stewart in 5 years and 10 years from now?
Well, real quick, I turned 50 in May, and I've been doing a post on TikTok. It's my hashtag 365 to 50. I'm counting down my journey to 50, and I'm doing a post every day. So I can go back, my kids can go back and look at how age 49 to 50 progressed. How is 5 years to 10 years going to look? I hope I'm on a fast track to being, heading towards a retirement date for banking. But if I kept doing what I'm doing on the side, my side hustle of bingo and football or stadium announcing, I would love that. But I do eventually hope that now that I'm working a Monday through Friday job, I could have a Saturday team, a stadium that I call my own, that I'm the voice for, and then maybe elevate to the pros someday. But it's so cool to have people recognize you as the voice of something.
Sure.
Because one of my biggest dreams was to be a voiceover artist like a Mel Blanc for Looney Tunes and go into Disney and animation like that. So maybe someday that path will open up. But if I'm just in bingo and sports announcing as my voice, that's maybe one of these days when you look back at the history of Vernon Newsom Stadium, maybe they'll have the honorary Stu Stewart microphone. Now, it's posted near the bathroom, but that's okay. That's okay. Stu has his golden microphone somewhere in Vernon Newsom Stadium.
I've got two right
there.
See?
I want one of those.
You want?
I need one of those with my name on it.
Okay. We'll see if we can replicate those.
Look, it'll be duct tape with black ink, Stu. But no, that's the dream. I would love to still be doing this 5-10 years and just have it even more elevated.
I always like to end the interviews with an open mic of, if there's anything that you'd like to say, a shout out, a thanks, a word of wisdom, Stu Stewart, the mic is yours.
Oh, good. So I'm going to write Stu's mic. No.
Stu's mic.
Okay. So obviously I have to give a big shout out to my wife, Brandy Stewart.
And happy birthday to her.
Happy birthday. Yep. She celebrated, I won't say the number, but she celebrated her birthday yesterday. And we've known each other for 25 years as of today. Oh. So 25 years of her dealing with me yelling, Stu! She does not know me as Stu. She knows me as Sean.
As Sean.
So that's good. It keeps you grounded. You have to, and I guess this will tie into the words of wisdom. You sometimes have to put on a mask and you have to put on a personality and go to work. And that's what I've done for so long is at home, I'm Sean, this guy who has a wife and 2 daughters, Catriona and Madeline. And I go to work and I have to put on the Stu persona because I can't have a bad day calling bingo. I can't get upset with anybody. I definitely cannot get on the mic at Vernon Newsom and, say, oh, boy, that was a terrible play. You can't do that. You can't do that. But maybe that's the word of wisdom I would say to anybody is you don't even have to be a performer to know that when you're going into your journey of life, sometimes you got to put on that second mask, but know when to take it off. and
Sure.
know when to dial it back. Like, I'm going to be on vacation this week after, I told you after today, I'm going on vacation with my wife for a whole week. No work, no banking, no announcing, no bingo.
No Friday night.
No Friday night. There will be a different voice there this Friday.
Oh my gosh, Friday night's a big game.
Whoops. Well,
Lake Ridge versus North Crowley.
Oh, that will be. North Crowley is not an easy opponent,
and neither is Lake Ridge. So
I wish I could be there for that game.
There will be fireworks.
There will be fireworks, but there will not be me.
Okay.
But
all right.
But that's okay, because sometimes you need to step away.
Sure.
And that's what I'm finding out more and more as I head towards 50 years old is hey, being the person who's bringing home the dough. It's nice, but man, you need a break.
Sure.
So know when to take that second mask off and be yourself. So, but yeah, my wife, my kids, and obviously all the people who have, inspired me to be who I am. Like I mentioned, Les and Tom and managers in banking, Tony, Alex, so many different people that have crossed my path. So this is something that you replace, when you and I were growing up, it was the people we met in person. Now it's people that you cross paths on social media. But even then, it's the same effect. You never know. Like you being a contact of mine, you never know when that's going to come into play. You may ring me up and say, Stu, I need this, or Steve, I need this. And that's great. That's what networking is. And that's what you want to remember in social networking, social media. Don't forget that aspect of it.
Stu Stewart, what's your favorite ice cream?
I like those type of zingers.
Mm-hmm.
I'm simple. I'm really simple. You give me vanilla and chocolate swirl, I'm good. Strawberry's great, but you start adding in some exotic flavors, I'm out. So chocolate ice cream's good with some strawberries. Ooh, that's
everyone who sits in that chair goes through what's called the lightning round.
Okay.
Lightning round, very simple, 10 this or that questions.
All right.
This gives the audience an insight of Stu Stewart that you cannot get any.
All I have to ask is there any big bucks or whammies on the board?
I don't know. Let's find
big
out.
Bucks,
If you're ready.
Big bucks. Stop. Yes, I'm ready. Let's do this.
So it starts off very simple. Night or day?
Night.
Glasses or contacts?
Glasses.
Red or green?
Green.
Toilet paper, over or under?
Over.
Nice car or nice home?
Nice home.
Rock or country?
Rock.
City or country?
I have to lean towards city.
Soup or sandwich?
Give me sandwich.
Summer or winter?
Oh, man, those are some tough ones. Give me winter.
Burgers or hot dogs?
Burgers.
Burgers. The guy is a burger man.
Yes. And winter, because I'm a hot-natured person. I can stay warm pretty easy. It's overheating that I don't like.
Stu?
Steve?
For the past hour and 5 minutes, it's been a pleasure.
Thank you for having me. You got a guest anytime you need one. I will gladly come on and talk with you.
So to the listeners, go out, not this Friday night.
Not this Friday.
That would be, okay, so not.
Basically, this week I am on vacation. Yes.
And listen for the voice.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Stewart, the voice of Vernon Newsom Stadium. It's Friday night in the great state of Texas. Who's ready for some hard-hitting, high-speed, high-school football action?
Stu, thanks for being on About Mansfield.
Doesn't that get you excited? Thank you, Steve. I appreciate it.
Coming up next week on About Mansfield, we will talk in studio with the executive director of the Mansfield ISD Education Foundation, Jennifer Correca. In the meantime, this is the place where you'll hear the latest Mansfield news, talk, and information. Until then, don't forget to like, follow, subscribe, and share, engage, connect, amplify, celebrate, embrace, explore, share, love, or support this podcast if you haven't already so you never miss an episode. It's free and it's easy. Head on over to our website, aboutmansfield.com. Right there on the homepage, enter your email address. We will never, ever, 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 ever send you any spam. My promise to you.
About Mansfield is recorded at Podcast Mansfield Recording Studio. Hosts, Steve Casillo and Colleen Daniel. Moment with the Mayor, Michael Evans. Methodist Mansfield News to Know, Angel Biasatti. Home Services Advice of the Week, Todd Cleveland. Cultural Arts Calendar, Tim Roberts. Cocktail of the Week, Brian Certain. Post-production editing, mixing, and mastering, Steve Casillo and Andrew Miner.
This podcast is copyrighted by Podcast Master Recording Studio and is intended for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this podcast without prior written consent is strictly prohibited. We thank y'all for listening on behalf of the entire news team. I'm Steve Casillo, and this is About Mansfield.